And we are ready for some trauma centers, so give it up for our runner. Take it away, Thurler.
So, hi everyone. I'm Thurler. I'm gonna play Trauma Center for you guys tonight. If you've never heard of this game, it's a really cool surgery simulator made by Atlas. And if the couch can introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm irisjoker.
Slurpeeninja.
Altabiscuit.
All right. We'll have plenty of time to talk about everything, so can we get the file name that you guys donated for?
What was the file name?
Yeah.
Does anyone have the file name?
Zoidberg is the file name that donations decided on.
GhostBird.
Why not?
Zoidberg.
That's all caps, right?
Yep, all caps.
Oh, it fits perfectly. That's great.
Yeah. That's the main. All right, so I'll do a countdown and we can start. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Nice.
All right, here's the most important tech. Hit minus to skip text. This run would be 3 hours longer if that was not an option.
Thanks, Trauma Team.
So we unlock episodes sequentially and we go through each operation as they unlock. There's text before and after operations. Thankfully, we can skip the ones after the operation. But the main gameplay is surgery, right? And boy, is surgery fun.
Anime surgery.
Yeah.
The anime comes later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I jumped
It has a
down.
little bit of delay.
Spoilers, sorry.
All right, so this is one of the hardest operations of the run,
Okay.
which makes no sense because it's the first one, but yeah, we just do
It's the-
things.
It's the tutorial operation, so...
We just suture, put some magical jelly, and everything is fine. And this guy also has a broken arm, so we're gonna fix that up. Hopefully.
Oh, we will.
Very carefully remove these bone fragments.
And you do have to pull them out in the direction that the cuts are pointing.
Yeah, yeah.
Depending on how much sway there is when you're pulling out each of the pieces, you can get a rating from bad, good, and cool. And on excess, you want to try and get as many cools as possible to build up your chain and your score.
And you don't want to miss, and that's what happened there.
Yeah. So we are not allowed to miss to get the max rank, which is very unfortunate because the first mission is really hard to not miss on. Because twisting your wrist is hard.
It is.
And the Wiimote is, well,
We're
not
using-
the most precise piece of technology.
We're using tilt controls here.
For all the real surgeons out there, imagine trying to hold a scalpel with an oven mitt.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
So easy does it.
All right, the last one is... All right,
There
Nice.
we go.
Right.
we in there.
We are.
Nice. Now to just not mess up the bandage like I always do.
Got it. And in,
Hey, all right.
Hey. And in other trauma center runs,
Cool.
you want to go as fast as possible so you don't gel the cuts at the lacerations at the end. But in all excess, you want to get a cool ranking, so you do have to gel before you put the bandage on. So
Yeah.
you'll see a lot of cools from that.
For very few operations,
cool.
you don't actually have to do that, but it mostly depends on how well you play.
Yeah.
In general, to get max rank on any of them, you got to hit a certain chain, not miss, and I guess sometimes operation-specific things, and do it within a certain amount of time.
Yeah, for example, on one chew, you cannot let the patient's vitals drop below 75. So we will treat each tumor individually and boost vitals mid-operation just to make sure that we never dip below 75. And yeah, there's a bunch of text going on. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, each operation has, I think, 4 or 5 different...
Yeah, 4, right.
4, yeah.
So you may notice that we have an option to choose doctors. Right now, it doesn't make a difference. So we just pick the faster one, which is Marcus, because he's the default option. And later on, we will talk about the difference between each doctor.
In their healing touch, for sure.
Right now, we need to remove these tumors.
Nice. That can be kind of difficult to pull off sometimes because of the angle at which you use the scalpel as well as the position of the tumor sometimes. And it's a nice time save when you manage to hit all 3 in one swipe.
All right, that was pretty good.
Also, if you actually use the ultrasound on these tumors, then you won't get a cool ranking.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Makes your excess rank void, so...
Yeah, because real surgeons just swipe their scalpel across the patient and just find the tumors immediately.
Just slash it open.
It's kind of funny what angles are difficult for various runners of this game. Like straight up and down is also difficult for a lot of people.
Straight lines and stars are really difficult to draw.
They really are.
This operation's called Blizzard. I know this because I read the Japanese a second ago. And I saw the blizzard, so...
Yeah,
But I believe in this operation, Thurler will be removing a gunshot wound from the patient.
Yeah, there's a rifle bullet stuck in the guy's heart. I have no idea how he's alive, but...
They're in Alaska, by the way, so...
Yeah.
They're just in this small hospital in a remote town.
He's using his pure willpower to stay alive. And then we will save him.
Well, he was fighting a bear or something. I don't remember.
That was the first operation.
All right, no one saw that.
Yeah, even if you miss the opening cut here, then you will lose your excess rank, so you have to be very careful with that. But
It's also slightly faster to use put the membrane over the bullet wound so the gel can settle in while you're suturing the other wounds.
Yep. All right, the bullet is split in half. The patient goes into cardiac arrest. Everything is wrong.
And you pull out the second half of the bullet, and then you put a bandage on it, and the defibrillator is very hard to use, but he did it.
Yeah, trauma. New Blood has like the fastest defib meter.
It's actually frame perfect to hit the green part.
Yeah.
Like you have one frame to hit each gray part, light gray part, and one frame to hit the green one. For this operation, you must hit the light gray area twice. If you need 3 uses of the defibrillator, you miss excess research. You must use it at most twice.
And Thurler was told me that he had a technique where you let the bar hit the very end, and then as it comes back, then you...
Yeah. Like I use the full gauge as a visual cue for when I need to press the button.
Absolutely.
It's kind of slower than just timing it right, but I'll take consistency over.
Yeah, in XS, you definitely generally prefer consistency over speed, generally.
Speaking of consistency, this episode sucks. 1.4 is one of the few instances where the game is in complete control here. I have no way to know for sure if this will XS until the game decides, like, all right, you got good.
You got cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, many resets during attempts on this one.
Yeah. There's been streams where I was like for 15 minutes resetting on World 1 because RNG is brutal. But basically we need to replace the chips on this pump unit in the pancreas. And a lot of blood will show up, and depending on how much blood shows up, we will not get XS. So my cue for whether I get it or not is how much damage I take when Healing Touch kicks in. So I guess if you guys want to explain what Healing Touch is real quick.
So this one will be Valerie's Healing Touch. It's a more balanced version of Naomi's Healing Touch from Second Opinion. Instead of just healing the patient whenever you do some kind of surgery, it instead puts the patient's vitals in stasis.
All right. It's like a super focus.
Oh wait, is this Marcus's?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking ahead. Marcus's is like Derek's. It slows down time.
So the surgeon focuses their concentration into a star, which you actually have to draw, and drawing stars is very, very difficult for everybody, but when you do it, then either time slows down or the vitals freeze in this game, in this case.
Yes.
All right, so I had to reset there because I took way too much damage. Like I had an extra blood pool show up. The game is just like, nah, not today, bro. Sorry.
Maybe tomorrow.
And again. All right. I'll give it one more shot. If it doesn't happen, I'll just move on. and come back to it
Back
later.
to it later, yeah.
It's funny how in the practice room I got this every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Oh, I
I
know.
tried it and I sure didn't.
We were joking that you were gonna like miss it once the actual run started.
And that's just the game being unfair.
All right, this time for sure. All right, this is good. It should take 15, 13, all right. Gotta be careful there to not miss the hitbox
Yeah.
with the chip replacement. So now we just pump vitals up to 99 because we need score. If we don't do this, we will not get XS despite getting all the bonuses. So we inject lots of green juice and this should be XS.
Yes.
Nice.
We got it. We did it.
So from now on, whenever we pick Marcus, we can use his healing touch, and we can activate it by drawing a star, which sounds simple, but trust me, it isn't. Basic geometry is really hard.
And we have a channel in the Trauma Center speedrunning Discord of various things that have counted instead of stars.
Yeah.
And that channel has gotten pretty long at this point.
It's been
Yeah, it's anything from just drawing straight up circles to drawing butterflies to
Any kind of shape you can imagine.
it's very
TV.
creative.
it's very cool.
The DS games by far have the most variety.
Yeah.
For the sake of consistency, I will stick to stars because this game is already hard as is. But if I was doing any percent or something like that, I would probably go for weird shapes. But stars are the most consistent, believe it or not. All right, so we inject some vitals there, make sure that the patient will survive. So these inflammations have super tiny hitboxes. I'll try to focus here to not have a miss. It's very common to miss these. Again, the Wii mode is just not the most precise tool. And yeah, that was a good star. All right, please.
And again, being careful not to click on the tumors with the magnification tool, just so that you get access or you get cool ranks for the SS.
Yeah, a slight change that they made with the ultrasound in this game is that you can just hover it over the tumor and it'll show it right away without you having to press A.
Yeah, it's
unlike
really nice.
Second Opinion.
Yeah, that helps a lot because I don't have all the locations memorized. So I played it extra safe with the hitboxes there. Again, if I got a miss, I would have had to reset the entire operation. So it's better to play it safe and not go ultra fast
Than to lose 4
and
minutes.
just like consistently get XS every time.
I don't know if this was touched on, but you can only get XS rank on hard difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On normal and easy, you can only get S rank.
Yep. And the only real difference is like how much score you need. So we'll really need to grind some score later on.
Yeah, ironically, when scoring or grinding for score, you actually sometimes have to do it at the detriment to the patient. Like, it's like the patient will be sitting there. It's like, are you done yet? Actually, I need you to suffer a little bit longer so I get a better score.
Yeah, you're gonna bleed out a little bit. I need some chain. All right, so there's this construction site. Some person is wounded. We need to save her and operate on her in the middle of the construction site because she's stuck. And Valerie's gonna do it because it's her friend or something like that. The plot is weird. So again, inject some life. Hello.
So this is where internal hemorrhages get introduced. They are pretty annoying because A, they can be difficult to locate, and they also deal
This is gonna be
They
close.
deal.
They deal a lot of damage. The patient's vital is temporarily dipped to 0.5 right there, but Thurler was fortunately operating quickly enough that it didn't matter.
Everything went according to plan.
I believe the game calls them pericardium ruptures. Incorrect.
And the cuts caused by the internal hemorrhages are also really small, so they can be difficult to get a cool for sometimes.
Yes, they are very difficult to suture. Oh,
I cannot believe I missed the suture, man.
It's always the last one.
Yeah. That suture was fine too. Like,
yeah, it's just the game didn't think it was fine, but we all did.
all right. One more time in case you missed.
This is the replay.
Also, using the ultrasound on these internal hemorrhages does not reduce your rank or rating.
Yeah, you still get a cool grade. All right, everything is fine.
Nice vitals.
Patient is alive. That's what matters.
So, yeah, just like before, the patient's vitals are now at like 0.5. It's like this is like well, obviously 0 is the lowest you can have the patient's vitals at. And then after Valerie's healing touch wears off, it boosts the patient's vitals by a little bit.
Thankfully, because if it came back at 0, that would be.
In case you still have some wounds that you didn't manage to treat while her healing touch was up.
All right, that was way scarier than you needed to be. But we did it.
We did it.
All right, coming up, we have the first optional mission called Core Attack 1. It's basically a simulation with 3 patients back to back. There's not much going on. Like, it's pretty much diseases we have already treated. The main difference here is that if you get a good grade on anything you do, it breaks your chain. And we don't want that because chain gives a lot of score.
Also, oh, go ahead.
We're gonna need like 30,000 points by the time we are done.
Also, for whatever reason, vitals carry across each patient. So
Oh, yeah.
if you finish at like 60, the next patient will have 60.
Yeah. Which is weird, but it happens.
So yeah, these challenges, like this one's, by comparison to the others, is actually pretty easy. These get increasingly difficult. Fortunately, in any percent, we don't have to do these, but in all ops and all access, you have to.
Yeah, we do all the side content and post-game content, so.
Let's see.
I did pick Valerie, right? I hope so.
I hope so.
Guess we'll find out soon.
Yeah, you'll know when you draw the star.
But if we didn't, well, it should be okay.
All right, so there isn't much going on here, so if you want to read some donations, now would be a good time.
Do we have any donations to read right now?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We have $100 from Titan Drake that says, this was my first Trauma Center game and I still can't get most XS ranks. So seeing an all XS in a marathon is insane. Good luck on the run.
Thank you.
Oh, my laser is out. What? You can keep reading.
Great. We have, oh,
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
It hurts.
Again,
It just
now
hurts
we-
when he misses.
It hurts when he misses, but now we have more times for donations, so please.
True.
well,
Yeah.
fantastic. 'Cause we have several waiting in the wings. We have $250 from Omax. Says Trauma Center at GDQ. The medical board has been notified. Incentives go to runner's choice.
Oh, the medical board has been notified indeed.
We have $50 from the Brazilian speedrunning community.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Paging Dr. Thurler, paging Dr. Thurler. Best of luck on your run. We're really proud to see you at this amazing event. Together we're stronger against cancer. Cheers from Speedruns Brazil.
All right, shout out to Speedruns Brazil, by the way. All right, I'm getting slightly tilted here. Hang on.
Focus. It's okay. We got this. We're here. No worries.
All right, this time for sure. All right, my chain broke there, so I need to make sure that when I finish patient 3, I boost vitals because my chain will be slightly lower than usual. That's going to be important for reaching 30,000 points. All right, now if I can just not miss the inflammations, that would be amazing.
And that is tricky because you do have to be very precise with them.
Yeah, the hitboxes are just super tiny.
Also, if you need quiet time, let us know. There are 6 of these tumors that he has to remove, and he's gonna work 3 at a time on his head.
Yeah, and hard, the tumors tend to regenerate their membranes much faster. So you want to do them 3 at a time.
As I found out earlier myself, trying to take out 6 tumors at the same time, it does not go over well,
Yeah.
believe me. Because then more inflammations form, and it's just a nightmare.
All right, we in there.
He's so in there.
All right, gotta boost vitals because patient 3 deals like 1 billion damage. Like around
Literally
80
a
or-
billion. Nice.
That is a big incision, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and those side incisions are really hard. You need to keep perfectly
Yeah.
stable.
For some reason, the horizontal hitboxes with the Wiimote is like much narrower than like the vertical or the diagonal ones.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. Maybe just a weird design decision. Really good control over the ruptures here. And control over the vitals.
All right, this may not access because the chain broke a little bit too early, but we'll see.
But
I need 30,000 points at this core screen.
we need it to access.
I'll just max vitals here in hopes that.
Yeah, the remaining vitals also affects your score as well.
Oh,
Oh, so that sound means that we're out of gel. So
All right.
we just gotta go.
cross your fingers.
Please.
All right, we good. We good.
Nice.
We did it. We're on to chapter 2 now.
All right, finally, chapter 2. And we get more text. Hooray for that. So as far as plot goes, we have left Alaska, which is probably a good thing. And we are in, I think,
Yeah.
Los Angeles? I'm not exactly sure, but anyways, we are in a fancy hospital where we used to work with, and
We're in an area with a lot less bears and blizzards and
yeah,
things
so
falling on us.
that is Professor Wilkins, the old guy with the monocle. Monocle? Yeah.
Yeah.
He called us back in because he wants us to operate on him. He has a very special disease, which is the star of the run, I guess. More on that later. But right now, this guy needs to be saved. He has some nasty tumors on his lung. We're going to use Valerie here. So from chapter 2 on, we are going to specifically choose doctors for each operation because their healing touches are very different and they're each overpowered for completely different reasons. Valerie makes people immortal for a few seconds, which is incredibly useful.
It is.
And Marcus slows down time, which can help with a few things. So, yeah, just drain the pus, treat the tumors, business as usual.
So why did you go with Valerie over Marcus for this operation?
Well, I need to grind chain here. I need 75 by the time the operation's over.
Oh.
If I chose Marcus, the pus that's going around would not spawn inflammations because it's based on a timer. So we use Valerie because not only does she prevent any... Oh, okay. Not only does she prevent any vital loss, she also lets inflammation spawn so that we can
Go ahead.
increase our chain. So we need a 75, we're at 70. 75. We are at 79. What? Oh,
Oh, it's always little
The
ones.
one little one at
Incredible.
the end,
Yeah.
of course.
So that's an interesting difference between any percent and all operations or excess. And any percent, you normally use Marcus just to actually prevent the pus from spawning and just get the operation done as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Marcus, you're usually trying to skip cycles of some kind.
So for Choo Choo, for example, we're gonna use Marcus because we need as many points as possible. And one way to get more points is to use Marcus's healing touch to slow down time, so we have a bigger time bonus at the end of the operation. You get 5 points per second left on the timer. So if you use the healing touch, it slows down by a third, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're correct about that.
Yeah. So you can increase the score by a lot. We can't actually skip a cycle, mostly because we need the points anyway. But yeah, we just use it for the increased time bonus.
Marcus's healing touch is also why we don't use in-game time for
Oh yeah.
the leaderboards, because he actually affects the time,
Yeah.
which can mess with the end
In-game
result.
time is kind of busted in this game. Not just this game, I guess every game in this series.
It is.
All right, so we're gonna replace this pacemaker. As soon as they turn it off, the patient goes into cardiac arrest. And we are gonna massage the heart.
Yes, because it's very delicate. You need to massage the heart. The pacemaker will.
Oh, hello. All right, I'll just patiently wait.
Yeah.
I could have risked that, but
Yeah. Unfortunately, this other cardiac arrest is random. Sometimes it'll just be a false alarm and the patient will be fine. But unfortunately, Thurler got some
But
bad.
for the excess rank,
you actually need a
you
cardiac
need
arrest.
the yes.
Oh, you need
the
it?
cardiac
Yeah.
arrest to
Because-
show up. Because if you don't get it, then you just won't get an excess.
Yeah, we won't have enough chain or enough cools.
Which we got it, so this should be all right.
So if we don't get the cardiac arrest, we actually need to wait for the patient to go into cardiac arrest, which is
ironic.
Which is very counterintuitive, but
all right. That was a good choo-choo.
choo-choo.
クロエちゃんこれ
All right, Chew 3. So this is incredibly hard. Thankfully, it's very easy to retry, but basically, there are 2 scripted defibrillator usages, but you can only use it 3 times, which means that you need to hit the green part of the gauge at least once, which, if you recall what I said a few minutes ago, is frame perfect. So it's considerably hard to hit that consistently. The game runs at 60 FPS, so yeah. And after that, the operation is also pretty brutal, so very easy to lose several minutes on Chute 3. Let's see what happens, though. So we pick Valerie here because she makes people immortal, and that's very convenient here because we'll take a lot of damage. Nope. All right. Let's try that again. It'll happen eventually. That was way off.
Almost. You got this. So close.
All right, there it is.
Nice.
No, just don't mess it up. I'm gonna be super safe here and use vitals.
And Thurler wants to take care of the lacerations first because they do a lot of damage.
All right, now I have to be very careful here because these hitboxes are not nice at all.
It's true.
Okay, that's the worst part.
Yeah. This operation can be very nerve-wracking.
It is nerve-wracking.
All right, I played it ultra safe. That's fine. Okay, we good.
We in there.
So now we're gonna activate the healing touch as soon as this giant piece of bone rib, whatever, pops out from the spleen.
Nice. Good star.
I mean, you can see why we call this anime surgery now. Like we have magical stars, giant pieces of bone coming out from the spleen.
Magic gel that heals everything.
Yeah.
Instantly.
All right, I'm actually gonna wait on Valerie's healing touch here to boost vitals a bit. I kind of didn't get enough cools, so I'm afraid this may not have enough score.
Oh, we
But
did.
yeah, that's fine.
Nice.
All right, Chew 4, we are actually going to operate on Wilkins, if you remember a few minutes ago. So we're going to be, this is our first encounter with Stigma. And if you guys want to explain that, you probably know better than me.
So in the first Wii game, the main thing was guilt, and I guess in this game they've introduced stigma, which is
It was like a sort of performance enhancing drug, but like obviously with Arai, Marcus made it by accident, and ironically Wilkins, his mentor, gets infected by it. So this will be the first of 7 strains that we'll deal with. 6, sorry. And this is when the game starts to get pretty anime.
Yeah.
It's basically enemies, their version of enemies in the game.
So if you thought a surgery game wouldn't have boss fights, you are clearly wrong.
that's true.
Sutures, please. All right. So there's just, what, claw thing? I don't know. How would you describe this?
I would describe it as like a maybe a tortilla,
Yeah, that looks like a tortilla, all right.
like a tiny one, you know.
So the strat is really simple. You just zap it with the laser until it dies.
The reason why Thurler's tapping the laser is to conserve the use of the laser. Each time he releases it, the laser regains a little bit of use, so...
Also, when you tap the laser, you can guide the tortillas towards the outside of the organ so that they don't cause lacerations.
Yep.
And this is the big flour tortilla.
So you can kind of stun lock it in place.
If you let
tapping
the
the
flour
laser.
tortilla attack, he will do 6 lacerations and do a lot of damage. So
Yeah.
you really, I don't know if you want that if you don't have enough points, but otherwise you don't.
So you're saying this is a 6-layer burrito.
Not quite a burrito, but you know, almost there.
All right, that was pretty good. Oh yeah, we should mention that this first trend is called Care, and I'll probably be referring to them by name from now on, so it's better than just numbering them.
Burrito number 1, tortilla number 2.
All right, Chew 5 has a bunch of text, so I guess we have time for like 1 or 2 quick donations.
Sounds good. We have $5 from Oh Like the Letter that says, I'm filming a 3-hour-long dance recital today, but there was no way I was missing this trauma center run. Good luck on your miracle surgeries.
Thank you.
And good luck on your dance recital
Yeah.
when it eventually happens.
All right, one more.
Great. We have $5 from Dr. Hoffman. Says, Dr. Hoffman checking in from Second Opinion to remind you kids, don't forget to eat your cranberries. Gotta get strong so you can do surgery fast.
That is true.
Thank you, Dr. Hoffman.
And speaking of, stay hydrated.
You've been conducting anime surgery for
All right, so
33 minutes.
the laboratory is on fire. There's this guy that has pretty much the entire left part of his body burned, and we're gonna try to save him. So we're gonna use Marcus to try to get the blood cycle right. These burns will spawn blood at a set interval. It's kind of random, but it's mostly set. And we're gonna delay that cycle with just a little bit so that we can treat stuff in order. And throwing vertical lines is kind of sketchy. Okay. There we are. All right. I tried going too fast. I should slow down. So skin grafting is very nice to watch, but it's kind of precise with how you need to place the skin grafts over the burns.
Yeah, and
So-
each full draw of that vial does about 4.5 skin grafts.
It can be a real pain because you have to keep tapping the A button over and over again, and then pinching A and B over and over again.
Alright. So just do this 2 more times. And you can see there are these black burns. They are 3rd-degree burns, and we need to inject the blue stuff on them to treat them properly. So I'm just gonna wait for blood to show up on the 3 burns, 3 regular burns here, before actually putting membranes on them, because if you try to place a membrane where there's blood, you will get a miss. And if you get a miss, that's
You
a
lose-
reset.
Then you lose your excess rank, which is not acceptable for this round. Nice.
Conveniently, the skin factory comes in multiples of 4. So
All right, that was pretty good.
I was wondering if you were going to say it.
I was waiting for you to say it. I'm glad one of us did.
All right, moving on to chapter 3. With the laboratory on fire, all of the stigma research we had was stolen. And amidst all that chaos, Caduceus was like, hey, these doctors are pretty good. We should recruit them. So here we are at Caduceus now. And that's our new boss,
Yes.
Irene. We're
The director.
Yeah.
If I recall, she kind of strong arms them into joining, though Valerie was more enthusiastic about it than Marcus.
Yeah, Marcos was just like, all right, whatever.
Marcus is just like, okay.
As long as my paycheck is due, I'll go whatever. And yeah, there's this guy with gallstones,
Yeah, he has the gallstones.
and we need to extract his gallbladder to cure him. So we're gonna do just that. Hopefully.
His name is Justin Ebert.
Yeah, and he's 2 meters tall.
Wow.
That is a very tall person.
Tall boy.
All right, the plan here is to try to extract the gallbladder super fast so that no gallstones make it to the end of the tube. But I already failed the start twice, so that's not happening. So this is gonna be a little bit sketchy. Hopefully I can make the cycle. Okay. So if these gallstones make it to the end of the tube, you drop all your chain, which is devastating for XS. But yeah, this operation is like 30 seconds long, and I could spend like 2 minutes explaining all of it. Hopefully that was kind of intuitive. And we use Valerie here because that entire procedure deals about 80 damage to the patient. And since we can do it fast enough, we don't need Marcus's healing touch. We can just pick Valerie and enjoy the max vitals bonus. All right, so 3, 2, oh, whoops.
You hit minus.
Don't hit the button. So 3, 2, we have a car accident, I think. It's pretty basic operation, like it's more of what has already been shown.
Transpired, yeah.
Just with like more blood and more glass shards. And there's a billion text boxes. So again, we're gonna pick Valerie because her ability is just way too good.
必ず
Like she just completely freezes the vitals in place, which is really good for operations where you take a lot of damage. All right, I actually have to count how many goods I get because that's gonna dictate how many vitals I need to inject when the procedure is over.
You have 1 so far.
All right. 2. All right, that's 2, so I have to go to like 60 or 65. You would expect me to know the exact number, but I don't. I just kind of.
It's an estimate.
All right, should be good. Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. 3-3 also has a bunch of text, and the operation is pretty much a gimmick where you need to twist your wrist and time the membrane to the what do you call it? Like the guideline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be very obvious what it is when it happens. But yeah, there's a bunch of text boxes, so we have time for a quick donation.
We have $100 from Duchess Daisy. Says, love games done quick, been watching for 5 years. Thank you for putting on such a fun event for a great cause. Excited to watch some surgeries. Hello from Japan.
Oh wow, Japan.
それでは
That is very far away.
Yeah.
All right, we picked Marcus because he slows down the speed at which the guideline moves, which is kind of a weird concept. Like, why does the guideline move? But it is what it is. Okay. I would be very surprised if that counted.
I think they explain it as a shifting tumor.
So we need to time the guideline, and if we miss, the patient just goes into cardiac arrest, and we need to retry.
Yeah, placing the membranes on the guidelines is pretty weird because the membrane has to actually overlap the guidelines rather than be inside them when it lands.
It's almost as hard as hitting the defibrillator on the right frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
A very strange sound effect.
That too. And it also doesn't help that the game expects you to be late. So if you try to time it perfectly, you may be a little bit early and just miss it entirely. It makes no sense. Like if you're 2 frames early, you miss, but if you're 6 frames late, you get it. Thankfully, it's a very fast operation to retry.
There we go.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you only have to do 3.
Yep. And we never have to do that again, which is even better.
Well, if you ask me, 3 is too many.
That is true. All right, 3-4, we are going to meet the second strand of stigma called soma. And it's basically a big
テキサスの
cotton candy cloud thing.
It's true.
With a core in the center that you have to zap.
It's like this guy went to the fair and he ate too much cotton candy and it's causing problems. Real problems.
Do we have food comparisons for all the...
We're going to have to slurp this one out.
At least I try to make
If we don't have,
comparisons.
we will come up with them.
This one makes me very hungry.
Where do you got Doritos for treaty?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Treaty
The
doesn't
Mountain
make an
Dew gel.
appearance in this game.
So we don't actually use the healing touch here, so we just picked Marcus because he's the default option. Like it's faster than actively switching to Valerie. All right, so just drain the cotton candy. It's gonna make these red tumors that you need to laser before they burst. If they do burst, they deal a lot of damage, break your chain, and you pretty much have to reset because it breaks your chain. So gotta make sure that they are killed before they burst. It takes a while, so you can try to time it. Like, you can finish draining the cotton candy and then go kill the tumor, but you may risk like having it burst and killing your chain, which is not good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it also has these little cotton candy pellets that you need to drain as well.
Yeah, otherwise, they'll harden. You'll have to laser and then excise them using the scalpel, which
Yep.
obviously costs time.
So now it kind of makes a clone, and you need to deduce which one is the real one. when they spawn, you can actually tell which one is the real one. Like, it will have a faint green glow in the center. And you can use that to know which one is the fake one. And if you don't drain the fake one in time, it'll burst into 6 or 5 blue pellets.
Yep. The real one will also drop the orange tumors. The fake one will not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, that was good. Soma. That was a sketchy suture.
Atlas generally tries to do their best to also help colorblind people with some of these operations.
They really do.
They really do. I mean, they probably learned after a second opinion
Yeah.
where Tatari was like. All right, that's a different game, though.
Yeah.
Let's not dwell on that.
That's what we're playing right now. DHS.
DHS. So some politician guy has aneurysms and he demands that the highest medical facility in the country, also known as Caduceus, operates on him. So I guess we are on duty. Let's operate on this guy. Normally we would use Valerie because on any percent you can actually let the aneurysms burst. And because Valerie's ability is just so broken, he takes no damage from it. But for access, if you let that happen, you actually cannot get the max rank. So we pick Marcus so that we have more time to treat them before they burst. All right. So aneurysms, you just inject the orange thing, cut it open, and can I please cut it open, drain the blood, and
Cut it open, remove the aneurysm, drain the blood, put it together, and then suture it together. So
Each of the aneurysm spawn points are predetermined, so moving the camera is also part of the strat. You can set both of those aneurysms in place, or like set the camera so both are in place, but at this difficulty, you just want to make sure you can see whatever aneurysm you're working on.
I just like having them on center because it's harder to miss that way.
Yeah, because that could affect where the tray ends up.
Yeah.
yeah, you don't want to set the camera so that your gel bottle is blocking the aneurysm because then you can't do anything with it.
Hello.
You wanna, yeah.
I'm actually kind of scared that this will burst, so
I
I'll
thought
play it
too.
safe.
I felt the same way.
All right, GG.
GG's.
So after every odd chapter, we're gonna have a score attack. So now we have unlocked score attack 2, which is considerably harder than score attack 1. Hopefully, I won't have to reset as many times. But we'll see what happens. So it is very important that I do not break my chain here. If I do break it, I'll need to grind chain on patient 3. So if all goes well, I'll keep my chain to the end and not have to grind. We'll see what happens though. All right, that's the chain, I guess. All right. Patient 1 is super simple. You just do the thing. It's kind of hard to not break the chain, but that's fine. What matters the most, though, is patients 2 and 3. Patient 2 is very easy to break your chain in, and patient 3 is very easy to miss. Just kind of a disaster since it's the last patient, and if you miss, you need to start over from patient 1. All right, so far so good.
Yeah, one more.
I'll play it safe and boost vitals. You don't need this, but you never know. Right, there's a bunch of pus and a bunch of inflammations. I'm gonna let the bottom pus multiply to make inflammations. That is going to be my source of chain, if needed. Hopefully not, but we'll see. And there are a few tumors as well. All right, I'm gonna let the pus multiply a bit. 200 chain is a good threshold to aim at. So I guess I'll just let the pus do its thing. But yeah, while this goes on, I guess you can read a couple donations.
Sure. I have $50 from Jumpy23, says green cash for green defibs. Hey, it worked last time.
Yeah.
Excited for people to see the best speed run ever, run by a very entertaining runner. Good luck, Thurler.
Thank you.
We have $60 from Bolt. Bolt says, Trauma Center is one of my favorite series of all time. Each XS rank and new blood was a struggle to get, so it's amazing seeing them all done in a speed run. Best of luck, and here's $10 for each strain of Stigma.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
All right, this should be enough for access. We need 20,000. All right?
Nice.
We got it.
Very good.
Close. I should have boosted vitals. That was way too risky, dude.
It's okay. You got this.
Yeah. All right, chapter 4. Don't exactly remember what happens in the plot. It's the game show.
I think this is the kidney op.
Yeah. No, this is appendicitis, right?
Yes.
With the appendix, yeah.
Speedrunners, everyone. They know the game they're running.
Story-wise, I think Chapter 4 was mostly filler in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Isn't it miracle surgery towards the end?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, maybe I'm thinking of the first half of it.
Yeah. Which is something else.
So yeah, this
Oh,
kid needs
boy.
his appendix removed, and the other guy needs his appendix removed too. So that'll be 2 in a row.
Oh, yeah, this kid is unhappy that his surgery doesn't cost as much.
So he I believe in the story he wants the surgery to cost more.
Yes. So he donates money to have another kid's appendicitis operation done.
Which, yeah, all right, helping out. It's good.
All right, appendicitis and surgery for appendicitis in 10 seconds, everyone.
Yeah. That one was more or less to just teach you how to do it basically, but this next one will be a little different.
Yep. So this guy wasn't as fortunate. His appendix burst. So there's a bunch of pus and inflammations. And we're gonna use Marcus's healing touch here to prevent more pus from spawning and thus more inflammations from spawning as well. And then I just have to make sure that I don't miss any of these inflammations. These tiny hitboxes. Also, you gotta make sure that the patient doesn't die. That's important.
Usually good.
Yeah, that would break your chain.
We don't want that.
Alright, this should be fine. Alright, we good. So for Chu, it's kind of interesting. Like, we get to go to a conference about some new disease or whatever, and apparently it's about dogs, and they didn't know about it. On the way back, on the middle of the highway, we witnessed an accident. It's like, hey, let's do surgery on the side of the road. That's a good idea. But yeah, you can do a quick donation because there's a lot of text here.
I have $15 from Cakes. Says, I remember watching my brother play Trauma Center when I was younger, and now he really does it as an ER doctor. First time donation, and you guys rock. Thank you for what you do.
All right, so this operation is a lot like 3-chew, except it has like those internal hemorrhages that you need to find with the ultrasound. And those deal a lot of damage. So again, we're gonna pick Valerie because her ability is so overpowered. And again, I need to keep track of my goods because that's gonna dictate how much I need to boost vitals at the end. All right, that's a bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's bad. It is bad.
He got bad.
Bads break your chain, so that's unfortunately a reset. Okay, that counted.
Wow. These features are amazing.
Oh wait, right, I need to take care of those. Like if you leave those blood pools alone, they will evolve into big blood pools and those break your chain. Alright, that was one good, right?
Nice.
Yeah, it's only one good.
Yeah. So it should be around 45 vitals. Okay. Bandages are scary.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like once you hold down A, it's just like there's no going back.
Yeah.
All right, now 4-3. I'm just gonna let the intro play so that you guys can see what we're about to get into. It's a pretty short, like 15-second clip, so enjoy it. Wish come true, miracle surgery. Live surgery broadcast on television, that is a great idea. How did they approve of this? Indeed, that is the correct answer. Anime is always the answer.
You aren't wrong.
But yeah, anyway, they were calling out on Conducius like, hey, you have a pretty big budget and you don't do as much for public health as regular hospitals. They kind of have it on point, but they don't exactly know we are treating stigma. I think at this point it's not exactly well known to the public what stigma is. So they call us there to like, oh, hey, we dare you to do surgery live. And the higher ups were just like, all right, we'll send the true finest doctors we have.
Competitive surgery.
Yeah, and here we are. Right, this operation is actually incredibly hard. So I'll focus here. I'll let you guys explain what's going on.
All right, so this op will have a lot going on. There are going to be several tumors, defibs, blood pools, and various other triggers based on various things that will happen throughout the operation. So after Thurler treats these inflammations, a few more blood pools and tumors will spawn. He has to treat these, and then there will also be malfunctions with some of his tools. His defib will malfunction, and so will his drain. So pretty soon after he uses the gel on these, and he tries to drain, the drain will break. So now he just has to boost vitals and wait until the drain gets fixed.
The vitals can drop very far, very fast in this part of the world.
And then shortly after the drain gets fixed, the patient will go into cardiac arrest, and the defibrillator will break. So we'll have to massage the patient instead.
Yeah, it looks like we're massaging the stomach, but it's actually the heart. You can see it in like a very faint blue.
And for the rest of the op, now all the tools will work fine. But of course, you still have a lot to treat. This operation can be very difficult if you don't get Valerie's star done well, or drawn fast enough, as well as dropping like a tumor or some other minor mistake.
And meanwhile, story-wise, the announcer's just heckling them the entire time.
Yeah.
All right, that was really good.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
Very clean.
Could say it was some miracle surgery you did there.
Indeed it is. All right, so after that, the host, I guess, was like, oh, okay, that was very nice and fast. However, I could have performed that operation in 75% of the time, which is kind of hard to believe. Like, I couldn't do it. How does he do it?
It's like a YouTube comment.
Yeah,
Life.
So the guy pretty much dares us to do a 1v1. Like, they get two patients with the same condition, and it's a race to see who saves the patient first. Like, it's a show of good ideas, trust me. But yeah, it turns out the guy also has the healing touch, and he's super fast. But it still doesn't make any sense how he's doing it faster than us.
When's Marcus gonna get a sponsor for this?
Yeah. All right, this operation introduces big aneurysms, which we'll need synthetic veins to treat. And we actually need to rotate our wrist to do this. So I'll be very careful and play it safe here. That was a good, that's not good. All right. I had to hurry here because if that aneurysm burst, I would have had to reset.
Oh.
This should be okay. All right, I'll just make sure that I boost vitals at the end. Things are not going as planned, but that's fine.
And again, we use Marcus here, so Thurler can carefully excise each of these aneurysms without them bursting. On any percent, we would just use Valerie and not worry about that at all.
I miss doing any percent runs. Letting aneurysms burst is fun.
Things you don't want to hear your doctor say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Come on. Right now, this is the tricky one.
Nice. Sometimes the synthetic membranes will just randomly miss.
Yeah.
Even if you like have it out, like it's really sensitive about the rotation and the placement.
All right, I'll play it extra safe with the vitals, just to make sure we have the XS. So it turns out the guy did complete his operation faster than us. So we go back to Caduceus, defeated, and we're like, all right, we're never watching that show again. However, we get a letter sent to us like, hey, you should tune into the show. We sent a little gift. And it turns out it's the third strand of stigma. And because the public doesn't know about stigma yet, they're not prepared to deal with the thing at all. And the guy just collapses mid-operation. Maybe you shouldn't be broadcasting it live. So we rush there to try and save him, save the patient. And yeah, we're gonna be dealing with ops here. And we're gonna use markers because we're not gonna be taking any damage anyway, so Valerie would be kind of useless here. All right, so if you guys want to explain what's going on here.
So the eye in the center is actually ops, while the two things on the right are kind of like spawning two different kinds of tumors. The red ones you have to laser, and the blue ones you have to drain. And then eventually it'll also spawn these red spiky ones that are also so-called tumor bombs. And
The red
if
ones do a lot of damage.
yeah, if either the red or the blue tumors hit ops, all of the bombs will set off and the patient will lose massive amount of vitals.
Yeah, you also lose XS if you let that happen once, so it's very important that we do not let these things touch the core.
Yep. And then eventually, after Thurler lasers ops enough, it'll split into two. It's very important that he draws the star immediately like that. Otherwise, the two things on the side will spawn enough tumors, and it could, and obviously the chance of hitting ops increases.
I should not do this. All right. That was probably a mistake. So running out of laser here is really bad because if you have a red tumor going straight for the core, you need the laser to stop it. So
Yeah.
if you have no laser, then GG.
It can be really scary.
So we could finish the operation here, but we actually need to grind a little bit of chain to get XS, so the patient can take a little bit of damage, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. 101 is probably fine. Oh, that's good. That's not good. It should be fine. Yeah.
Nice.
And with that, we are done with chapter 4 and can move on to chapter 5, which is ironically the easiest chapter in the run.
Yeah.
It's a nice little break before everything gets cranked
Chapter
up
6.
to 11
Oh, yeah.
on chapter 6.
Ugh.
But yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So we're gonna watch a hockey game to try and unwind with this guy and whoever else.
Nothing could possibly go wrong here.
Yeah.
But of course, something does inevitably go wrong. And for some reason, he has this new untested drug. So, and he's like, oh yeah, by the way, just use this drug. It's okay.
Yep.
I believe a player falls on the ice and gets something in his hand.
He gets a muscle fracture, and yeah, and
Right,
also,
right.
This guy has like part of a hockey stick.
yeah,
Stuck in his
he has
arm.
like a splint stuck in his
Yeah.
arm.
Yes, that's right, an arm splint.
All right, so this operation is super easy. You just pop the healing touch and do things. You
Very
don't even
nice.
get to see the convulsions.
Yeah,
So
that's why we use healing touch for this, because the convulsions do happen pretty quickly. It's almost possible. We were trying in practice to see if you could reattach all the muscle ligaments, but again, it's like a 1 to 2 second window.
yeah, you can do it if you're an ultra god, but none of us are there yet.
Yeah.
Soon.
Keyword yet.
Yes.
Although it's probably possible on like normal difficulty.
Probably, yeah.
So for 5-2, I don't exactly remember the background for this guy, but his liver is in pretty bad shape. It's like torn and like, with a lot of bleeding.
Yeah.
So we need to patch it up. Like supposedly it's just an emergency patch up, and then we'll open him up later to really fix the problem. But yeah, this is also pretty easy. But yeah, we just drain all this blood. Hopefully put all the, oh, right, he goes into cardiac arrest. I almost forgot that. And we just patch this up before it bleeds again, hopefully this time without a miss.
It'd be pretty easy to get a miss on this off because you have to really quickly put all those membranes on, and sometimes a blood could randomly show up, or
Yeah.
the hitbox will overlap with, with another membrane.
It's really hard to like do it super fast.
Nice.
Wait, I got a bad. That's I mean, I'll finish this operation, but I'll probably have to redo it. Just in case. But yeah, we need to boost vitals here because we need as many points as possible. So I'm not entirely sure if this will XS because there may be a chain requirement. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna have to do that again. Thankfully, if you're doing like an operation that you have already cleared, you can skip most of the story.
Yeah, you can jump directly into the operation briefing.
Yeah.
It's also nice for practice.
Yep. All right, third time's the charm.
Also, fortunately, this op is pretty short.
Yeah, it's only like
It's only a minute
already
long.
50 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, that was completely wrong. Seriously? Come on. That has never happened before. Oh, no one saw that.
I didn't.
Bring in the stunt patient.
Yeah. All right, this time for sure. How am I getting bodied by this? Holy crap. All right, you know what? Let's just take it easy. All right, go. Go into cardiac arrest. I'll wait. you do you, buddy.
Right?
All right. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, fortunately, if you treat all the wounds fast enough, even though you heard the EKG beeping rapidly, the cardiac arrest will just immediately stop.
Yep. Fortunately. All right, this should be excess. No. Man. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but we are getting closer. All right, you know what? Let's just move on.
Yeah,
I'll go
come
back to
that
that
one.
later. Don't worry. Just don't want to do it.
Ironically, we're going to be doing this op again.
Exactly. It's pretty much the exact same operation. I can't believe I got bodied by 5 Chew. All the operations. It's one of the easiest.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
This one is the same, but it has actually those ruptures.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, yeah, it's the same patient, the same condition. This time there will be internal hemorrhaging though. And it should be as easy as the previous one. Oh, right, I need to do this first. All right, again, I'll just play it safe. Wait for cardiac arrest. Now here I need to have some more blood spawn. Okay, this should be good. Okay, this should be enough. I'm never exactly sure because I never get cardiac arrest that early, but we'll see what happens.
Nice.
So now, 5-4, we get kidnapped into who knows where. And turns out it's the bad guys that's spreading stigma around, called Parnassus. And they want us to operate on their test subjects so that they can further improve stigma to make it inoperable or something like that. So we're gonna meet the 4th strand of stigma called Onyx. Onyx? No.
It's Onyx and then
Yeah.
Brachion.
Names are hard.
Yeah.
So Onyx is a very simple stigma to treat. It's pretty much a game of hide and seek. You just need to find it with the ultrasound before it peeks out and lashes at the patient's organ. It's not fun at all. Like you can just spend several seconds looking for it.
Yeah.
Every time. All right, there it is. Nice. Finding the first one is the difficult part because now you can kind of tell where he's going.
Well, he sort of points in the direction he's going.
Yep. And it starts making fakes. The only real one has 4 LEDs on it.
Suppose the other ones are tab-free.
So just do this like 3 more times and that should be it.
Nice.
All right, GG.
Yeah, if you hit the fake one by accident, the real one will pop up and make 5 lacerations.
Yep, and break your chain.
Yep.
So you have to be extra careful that you're hitting the right one. All right, 5-5 is gonna have a lot of text, so we have time for a couple donations.
I have $100 from Birdie, says Dr. Marcus is on the case and he's using tilt controls. It's definitely safe. Probably. Absolutely love this game. Get those cools, Thurler.
Trying.
I have $100 from Xeranox, says Trauma Center was a trauma to me. I failed so much in this game. The speedrun is so great to watch. Keep the magic healing potion ready for beating all cancer in the world. Greetings from Bavaria, Germany.
All right, so 5-5. This guy got shot with a shotgun.
Yeah.
That's a weird sentence to say, but okay. Hello. Hitboxes, please. So you need to extract the pellets. I already know where they are, so you probably won't even see them. And for this operation, you were given no stabilizer, which is the thing you can inject to boost patients' vitals. And you only have a limited amount of heal jelly, which is the magical stuff that heals everything. So we have to be very conservative with how much gel we use. If we run out, we don't get XS. But yeah, this is a very basic operation. Okay. So 5-6 is pretty much a repeat of 5-4. It's Onyx again. There's a little twist this time though. After 4 hits, I think, it'll go berserk. Like it'll pretty much negate your ultrasound and it'll show all clones at once and it'll keep damaging you per second. So you're on a timer to find it, not just because it'll pop out if you don't find it, but also because you're taking damage constantly. So if you're not careful, the patient will just die.
I wonder who the blue hair mask could be.
Yeah. We've seen him before. And we picked Valerie here to counter that damage per second I was talking about. Now the hardest part is finding him for the first time. There he is. That was nice and easy. Now it should go berserk, so activate Valerie's healing touch and just finish it off.
Now, although it may seem like it's really difficult to find Onyx because there's so many 3 pieces of him everywhere, it's generally the same rules as before. You just follow the direction in which he dives,
Yep.
and he travels in a linear direction, so you just have to follow it straight down or up or wherever he goes, and you can find him right away.
Yeah, it can get kind of troublesome, like if he's on the like the bottom part of the organ and goes straight up. It could be anywhere, pretty much.
Yeah.
But that's very rarely the case. So 5-7, we're gonna make a breakthrough. We're gonna run away.
We're gonna make a break for it.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, all right. So if you're not gonna cooperate, we're gonna put you on this cage, and instead of locking it with a key, we're gonna lock it with the Hyperlock 3000, which is a great name for a children's toy. So apparently they didn't believe we could solve it in under 2 minutes.
Highly technical. Needs the best doctors to solve this one.
So as with every Trauma Center game, there has to be a puzzle gimmicks thing. And this is it.
Incidentally, this puzzle changes on each difficulty.
Yeah. The solution is entirely different.
Right, you only get 8 turns for this before you lose your excess rank.
I don't remember if there's a limited number of turns for excess.
I think
Yeah, you can
Thurler
only-
said 18 moves.
Yeah, 18.
Oh, 18, sorry. I said
Okay.
it, but I
The
meant...
solution has 16 moves, but like, so you can make 2 mistakes. And if you just pinch a tile without rotating, that counts as a move. So
Wow.
you better be precise with what you're doing. But yeah, that puzzle was all right. Not the best, not the worst.
I think that's really good.
So we have Score Attack 3, definitely one of the hardest operations in the game.
Yeah.
So we have 4 patients now. Patient 3 being the absolute hardest. It has a bunch of tumors and a bunch of big aneurysms. Chang is not exactly important here, so I'm not gonna be too stressed about dropping. But I will get stressed if I miss them. That's not good. So not missing for like 5 minutes is really, really hard. So I'm gonna do my best here. But yeah, this operation can be incredibly brutal. But yeah, there's just gonna be conditions that we have already talked about, so there isn't much to commentate here, just appreciate the fast surgery. Played it extra safe there. Boost vitals before going to patient treatment. Also, this music is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. We only get this music for the score ops.
By the way, I'm not sure if we mentioned this, but any similarities you guys might find with like the music or character design with like the Persona series, like it's the same character designer and same composer, so it's not a coincidence.
Yeah. Very Persona-esque.
Yep. All right, like I mentioned, I don't care too much about chain here. You get so many points that chain pretty much doesn't matter. What does matter, though, is these hitboxes that are super wonky. Come on.
Yeah, it's very hard to switch with these.
Come on.
There you go. Once you use use the scalpel on the aneurysm, you don't have to worry about it regenerating again or getting more inflamed.
Alright, we're gonna boost vitals to as much as we can here. Because the next wave deals a lot of damage. Come on. Wait, why did my chain break?
You got it good.
Oh, that's right. This is spore attack. I'm not sure if we mentioned before, but goods break your chain here. Whereas on regular gameplay, only bads break the chain.
And back when the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection was up, this game used to have leaderboards for score. And these A missions were particularly difficult to get really high scores on because of the chain.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, the worst part is over. Now just don't miss on patient 4. It's a very easy operation, just remove the glass shards. Just don't miss TM.
No.
There will be a few, though.
How is that a bad? All right. No worries.
We any percent now.
We still got this.
I think you had a pretty good chain and score
Yeah.
built up.
Nah, the chain's at like 100 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, we will finish this because I'm not doing that again right now. But yeah, let's see how much score I get for this. I think the cutoff is like 30,000. Yeah, so we would have gotten excess if I hadn't dropped that glass chart. So again, we'll go back to this later after I'm done with everything else. There's no requirement that we need to do everything in order. But yeah, chapter 6. The hardest part of the room.
It really is.
And there's 2 chapters after it too, including the X-Ops. But
Yeah.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yeah, we do.
We do.
We have $500 from Rhino254. Says, thank you all for what you do. My mom battles stage 4 breast cancer, and folks like you advance the research required for her to have a better quality of life. Keep doing what you do. Been watching since 2015, but now I understand why this is so important. This is for Maggie. Please give a shout out to Ridley Ray. Thank you so much, Rhino.
All right, coming up is the 5th strand of stigma called Brachion. It has like a few arms with weird things at the end, and it has these blinking LEDs that have toxins going up. So if you guys want to explain what's going on.
So yeah, once the blinking LEDs get to the end, then they will either cause damage when the bud is still on the end of it,
Yeah.
or they will regrow the bud. So and you'll have to do it all over again. So you just want to be as fast as possible here.
And they also break your chain, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So for this one, we actually care about chain, but for a few other breaking offs, we don't have to worry about chain as much. So we could let the toxins reach the end. Not here though, we need to actually be careful. Right, I'm playing it ultra safe here because breaking is deceptively hard with these cycles on the LEDs.
And you can see that you didn't have to wait for the ends to completely spawn to start injecting the purple goo.
I have nothing to do, so might as well.
Just preparing for the task that you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Just be careful you don't land on that scalpel.
All right. Easy access. So now we're going to fly away to the distant land of what's it called again?
Killeruma.
Yeah. Where they are extracting minerals to make stigma with. That doesn't make much sense, but hey, it is the plot of the game. So we're gonna, like, because the metal is required to make stigma, there's a stigma outbreak here, so we come around to help. But civil war breaks out, and we get forcefully thrown into that, and we're gonna help people. But first of all, we need to help this nurse that has a weird fever. And that fever creates tumors that flash colors. That doesn't make any sense. But it is what it is.
They do change color, and if you hit it on the wrong color, then it causes a lot of damage and will break your chain or lose your excess rank. So we're going to use the healing touch right away here.
Yeah, you really do not want to try and extract the tumor when it turns red, because otherwise all the places where you have already extracted the tumors will spawn inflammations. And I think blood pools might show up, I don't remember.
Yep. So that was as perfect as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was okay.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So 6-3 is when we're actually going to treat like a bunch of stigma patients to try and teach the locals how to treat it. So there will be 3 patients. The first one will be infected with Soma, the second one with Brachion, and the last one with Ops. And yeah, we cannot miss on any single one of them. Brachion is usually where I miss because the cycles are really hard to get. But I'll play it safe. But yeah, there won't be much to comment here because it's mostly stuff that we have already talked about. I don't know if you guys want to reinforce some strats. I don't know.
You can do donations.
Yeah, donations are good.
Sure. I have $100 from the benefactor. Good tidings, GDQ. A tip of the hat to the wonderful speed doctors we have currently here on the Trauma Center team. Most importantly, though, a rousing applause for all the doctors helping with the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Let us hope these fine physicians can attempt the world record speedrun for eliminating cancer from this planet once and for all. Continue to keep a fantastic momentum up for this last day of GDQ. Signed, the benefactor. I have $10 from Theralis43. Says, I'm a third-year medical student that just finished his surgical clerkship several weeks ago. Just when I thought suturing couldn't be more stress-inducing with an attending and resident watching your every move, I can't help but think what it'd be like to have a Wiimote instead of a needle driver. Thanks for the entertaining stream while I study for my shelf exams.
Man, the Wiimotes suck, by the way. Just want to get that out there. Yeah, you can keep going with donations.
Sure. I have $10 from Miracle Surgery TV. Things you don't want to hear your doctor say. The patient can take some damage. I can do it faster. Let's try again. Hello? Hitboxes, please. Absolutely love this run. Thank you. Less than 3. I have $300 from TommyBoy2578. Thank you to all the gamers. This donation is for 3 important people in my life who have battled cancer. I got all my coworkers to watch this because they love these causes and they love watching video games. I hope we record break this year. Thank you so much, Tommy Boy.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we had a little accident there and had to reset. I kind of was too risky with the red tumor timing, but things are fine now, or they should be.
Too much cotton candy.
Yeah.
It's really nice when Somo overlaps, because then when you drain, you're hitting both of them instead of one at a time.
Yep. All right, that's 1 patient down. 2 to go.
I do want to reiterate that it's very hard to get the 1 cycle on Soma when he's lasering the main core.
Yep.
Like, half a second more and he wouldn't be able to get it.
Time for more donations?
Yeah, sure.
I have $10 from Furlim. You might have doubted it, but I am fully awake for your run. At least, I think I am. Just for you to know, we're having lots of fun on the Brazilian restream, besides the time. I'm sure the run is going to be awesome, so be sure to show the world how to be a star in surgeries. And of course, how to draw the best stars.
Hell yeah. Shout outs to the Speedruns Brazil again. Doing the Brazilian restream for GDQ.
I should admit, Thurler draws really nice stars.
Sorry?
I said you draw really nice stars.
Yep.
I have $20 from One Armed Dragon. I'm so glad this game is getting a second opinion at GDQ. Not only are you treating cancer in-game with anime surgery, but you're raising money to help cancer in real life. Can't wait to see what a true medical prodigy can do with one of my favorite series under the knife.
Wait, that was not the last wave. What? All right.
This is probably the last one.
Yeah. All right, I'm playing it super safe here.
And really, you should. Especially with the one with the 3.
Yeah. Ooh.
That one is really fast, so you have to be
Yeah.
on the ball with that.
That was really close, though.
It was all right.
Really close.
I usually go for way closer cycles. I mean, now it's not probably a good idea to go crazy with cycles. All right, ops coming up. Again, we're gonna need to grind chain for a bit. So, yeah, just drain stuff and all that.
Yep. Just gotta be careful for when off splits up and hopefully doesn't hit or stray into a random.
Yeah. You gotta make sure that the center area is clear of these things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you may just completely obliterate your chain.
Also, it is very dangerous when your laser runs out on this operation because one of those red rocks can just fly into ops and just cause, well, everything to just go away.
Yeah, laser management is very important.
Restart the whole operation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Time for a quick donation?
Sure.
I have $50 from March 8, says, super excited for the trauma center run. Good luck, Thurler.
Thank you. I almost didn't see that on the left corner.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, that's 1 down. So we need to grind chain up to like 160.
Second attack.
So should be coming up soon.
That was close.
I got kind of confused with the tools there. Like, I pressed down, but it picked the drain.
Yeah.
It was super weird.
Yeah, sometimes when switching between different tools, it can accidentally hit like the syringe instead of the gel.
Yeah.
All right.
It can be a little bit oversensitive, so be careful.
All right. That is.
It's pretty scary considering it's a multi-patient operation.
Yeah.
But that's not the last one, unfortunately.
Yeah. So 6-4. One of the best operations. So crowd, do you want to kill or save the animals?
We want to save the animals. Well, in this case, we really want to save the animals.
Yeah. So for this run, it's sadly mandatory to save the animals. So the dog gets shot, and we need to save the dog. Like, we're technically not veterinarians, but
I believe its name is Pepita.
first aid.
Yeah, it's Pepita.
Yeah.
There better be some Franker-Z's and all my dogs in chat.
Oh my
Please
god.
spam your favorite dog emote.
We will save this patient.
Oh, come on. That's not good.
Yeah.
Patient's gonna. Yeah, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna reset.
No, he's
Unfortunately, vital loss
Yeah.
is really harsh on hard, so
She took a little bit too much damage.
yeah. If your vitals are too low, well, obviously the max vitals are kind of low, but when the patient goes into cardiac arrest, you can't do anything, so the vitals will just go into free fall until you're able to resuscitate them.
All right, please be enough. Please, 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 please. No. All right. Rip.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta go back.
It's
to
okay. I
time
just
again.
want to kill the animals real quick.
No.
Well, I'm happy to report that Twitch chat is coming through for you with the Franker Z's and Oh My Dogs.
Bless the chat. All right. Third time's the charm, right? All right. I'll play it safe here and only do two of these.
Yeah.
Should be pointed out that using the Hio jelly on the dog technically counts as petting the dog, so
Yes. Pet the dog.
it is mandatory to pet the dog to beat the game. All right, I'll play it safe, sure. Man, I am getting
Nice.
devastated by RNG right now.
Yeah.
All right, that was,
This last one is scripted.
yeah.
You did it.
We did it.
It's too soon.
Pepita is
Got way too
saved.
many goods. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do it again. Like, I noticed, like, my last 3 sutures were goods. So there's a requirement for at least a few cools.
It's unfortunate.
That's okay. We'll just have to pet the dog again. That's good. All right, 4th time's the charm. I'll just keep saying that.
We're out here petting the dog.
No.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the pellet hitbox is really small, so wow, that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the pellet hitbox is really small, so it can be pretty easy to miss or drop them when extracting them.
I can't believe I'm getting bodied by the easiest operation. This time for sure.
Nice.
Alright, I was extra careful there to get cools so that I can actually get XS this time. Hopefully. There it is.
There we go.
Yay. We have saved the animals.
Alright, now we can move on to the hardest operation in the game. 6-5. So if you guys thought 3 patients or 4 patients was not enough, this one has 5 patients. And it's a very brutal, like 5-patient operation. Every single patient has a lot to do, many places to miss, and it's a nightmare. It's where most of the runs die. Like most of my runs die here.
Yeah. This is also brutal on your wrist because you are going to be doing lots of suturing, lots of pinching. Just there's a lot of work to do here.
Yep. So, you guys do the heavy lifting. I'm gonna be 200% focused here and try and not mess it up. But yeah,
So yeah, to begin with, we have a burn victim, and he's flatlined. So Thurler has to be careful and
So it'll be taken care of.
get the
Quite similar to the last one,
yeah.
where we had a burn victim. Making skin grafts and then placing them over the burn wounds.
It can be pretty easy to get a miss here because of the blood pools, because of missing the scalpel when making the skin grafts, all kinds of other things like that.
case in point.
Yeah.
So I got very unlucky. It's very rare for a blood pool to spawn that early.
But it does happen, and in that case, we do need to respawn to get the excess rank. Pardon me.
Alright, boost vitals, that is important.
Yeah.
Saved.
You have one segment. Oh, there you go. Sometimes it can be easy to miss the segment based on stuff on the HUD. And then when you go to grab it, you'll get a miss and you wonder why that happened. Same goes for the burns, because sometimes the score on the upper right can be covering a blue dot.
Boost vitals. Alright, that was super
Nice.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry.
Yep. So this guy has like a billion bullet wounds. I'm not sure how he's not dead. But hey, he's on the table. We have to save him. So fun fact, if you remove the big bullet there on the left first, all of these bullets will get a good grade. I don't know why, but you drop like 1,000 points if you do this in a different order. So, very important that you do this in the exact order that I did. Otherwise you drop points.
Interesting.
3 more to go.
Oh boy. Alright, patient 3. Man. All right. Let's keep going. I'll come back to this later.
Yeah, this patient in particular is pretty difficult because of all the glass shards, the cuts, internal hemorrhages, just
Yeah.
lots going on.
It's kind of sad though. Like I could reset this, but it's a pretty big time loss.
Yeah.
I would rather like get this out of the way and come back to it later when my wrists have had a little bit of rest.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Like repeating 6-5 over and over is extremely painful.
Both literally and figuratively.
It's true.
All right, so patient 4 is actually the hardest one, mostly because of how the bone pieces are lodged in. They are in a very
Especially this one.
specific angle, and the game plays this sound effect like, "Hey, you missed." Just kidding. Hello. All right, good thing I've already missed, so. But yeah, sadly this cannot XS anymore because one of the requirements is to not miss. But, I mean, what you guys are seeing and the difference to XS is literally just those 2 misses. So, really it's more about checking arbitrary checkboxes than being good at the game, so.
But even just like 2 misses can make such a difference.
Yeah. Like the estimate is, okay, I have to.
Nice.
I was like, all right, let me reflect for a second on what I'm doing here.
I'm impressed you went that far without the healing touch.
Yeah, I was busy talking. What? I was talking about, oh yeah, the estimate. The estimate is super generous, so we'll have time to come back to these operations that
Absolutely.
I haven't got access in. I just want to focus on like showing you guys the entirety of the game because the difference between what I'm doing and XS is a silly mistake. But yeah, 6-6.
Time for a donation.
Indeed it is.
Leave.
I have $20 from First Wizard Zorander. Says, the trauma center runs always surprise me with how captivating they are. Everything is better with lasers, petting dogs included, apparently. Awesome run so far, and good luck.
Thank you. You can do one more.
Sure, $50 from Drogdova. I hope I said that right. Big love from Germany. I'm so happy that AGDQ is live again, and I'm so sad that it's almost over again. At least I have a month's worth of videos to watch now.
Yep.
Good luck to Thurler with killing, saving, and petting the animals.
All 3. Thank you.
All 3.
All right, so this is a double liver transplant. The game is just not tired of throwing hard operations at you. So here's 2 patients that need a new liver. Good luck. Oh, and it has stigma in them. So, okay. This guy has care. The next guy will have care and onyx at the same time. So the strat here is going to be to grind a little bit of the damage care does here. Hopefully I can kill this. Okay. So I'm gonna boost vitals here. Play it super safe. I'm gonna wait for these to make 2 tumors
You're
before
also
actually
waiting.
killing them.
Betting will let your laser recover as well.
Yep.
So it's doubly beneficial.
Yep. So the reason I wait for those 2 tumors is because we need 95 chain, and right, that's an extra tumor, I guess. So tumors give like 4 chain, whereas lacerations only give 1. So they're the best source of chain. And now here with the big tortilla,
Tortilla.
yeah. Just,
No, we don't want the tortilla to touch the liver because then he will attack.
yep.
Yeah.
Just stone lock
And
it
it's
down.
very dangerous in this case.
Hello. Elena, you're in the way. Carefully. Alright, now we just finished the liver transplant. I gotta remember the order, like it's always blue, yellow, red, green. If you do it in the wrong order, you miss.
Yeah.
Very important.
Also, each vein that you connect increases the patient's max vitals,
Yep.
which can be helpful on the easier difficulties in case Stigma's doing a lot of damage.
Alright, patient choose. Let's go. First we find Onyx. Now we're gonna try to deal damage to Care while Onyx is hiding. Hello.
Nice.
Hitboxes can be weird sometimes.
They really can.
Alright, so two Care appear at the same time here, and Onyx is gonna go for third, so activate the healing touch to kill both Care here while I look for Onyx. As soon as I find it, I'll just...
Oof. Fortunately, that spawn point can be a little dangerous because there's a 3-bit right next to it.
Yep.
Ah, it's right there, yeah. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, it's right there.
I guess really pointing at the screen and saying it's right there doesn't really help in that case, does it? I'm sorry.
I can imagine at least one viewer at home is like, it's right there, pointing at the screen.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
Slight fun fact, when me and Slurpee did this in 2017, we actually died on this op.
Yeah.
It's really difficult, so
Yeah.
props to Thurler for doing well on it so far.
And I believe we did because it's really hard to actually suture the connections between the organs.
The veins, yeah. We also lost track of vitals when between Onyx and Cher. Thurler was fortunately on top of all 3 at the same time.
You kind of have to when the game is this difficult.
Right.
When you're going for excess rank.
All right.
Wow.
Oops.
I'm always scared of horizontal sutures.
Yeah. That should have been a cool.
This should be excess. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're doing all right so far.
Here we are.
We're almost there.
Chapter 7.
Almost. So chapter 7, the last chapter for the main story. So basically we're trying to fight Professor Wilkins, kidnapped back in chapter 2, if anyone remembers.
I remember.
I mean, who cares about this game's plot? It's such a mess. But yeah, basically there's this grandma that has ties to the mafia and knows where Wilkins is for some reason. And she's like, all right, I'll tell you, but you have to operate on me. Okay.
There's always a catch.
Conveniently, you have the skills to do that catch.
Yeah. So this is actually a throwback to Second Opinion. It's identical, well, not identical, but it's very similar to Z2 with these weird tumors with like 3 veins attached to it. Basically drain the cytoplasm, cut these, and remove the thing. And then when multiple show up at once, you need to make sure that you extract both at the same time, otherwise they will fully regenerate.
Yes. And cause a lot of damage in doing so.
Yep.
And mess up your chain, and you'll lose your access. Which we don't want any of those things. Nice.
And as if that wasn't enough, the lights go out. And you have to operate with a lighter that just happened to be right there.
Wouldn't be a Trauma Center game without having to operate in the dark.
Oh, yes.
It's true.
Literally.
Does Trauma Team have this gimmick too? I imagine they would.
I can't remember.
I think there isn't. I don't quite remember too well though.
There are too many ops, the trauma team.
Yeah.
Yes, Trauma Team is not without its fair share of gimmicks.
All right, that was okay.
And of course, the lights come back on when you're done.
Yep.
Nice. Always.
Always. Okay.
Just a little extra bit, just in case. All right, now we have to boost vitals here because we need extra points. Being good doctors for once, you know. There has been too many complaints.
We wouldn't want to notify the medical board.
Yeah. All right, 7 truth. We actually stormed the central HQ or whatever of the terrorist group.
Yep.
And we rescue Professor Wilkins. But during the attack, they actually throw stigma gas bombs. I don't know. Like people get infected with stigma. I don't know how. And we have to
Airborne.
Yeah.
Somehow the ancillary characters that they introduced that aren't on your team are the bad people.
Yep.
And they live in this very ominous mansion, which is also a medical lab.
Also, he was only on screen for like 2 seconds, but he may recognize the newscaster from Miracle Surgery. I guess he was out of a job, so he's like on Dangerous News. All right, this is another 3-patient operation. The first one is Brachion. The second one is going to be Soma plus Care, like both at the same time. And the last one is going to be Soma with Onyx. And you may have noticed that I let the Brachion LED reach the end there. I don't particularly care for chain here because I'm gonna get enough chain on the last 2 patients. So I just let the toxin reach the end. I just cannot let the thorns regenerate. Gotta make sure that the LEDs never reach
Open
one of
void.
the ends without. Yeah.
I suppose it's already been removed. Yeah.
Hello.
Ideally, you want to go for the arms that have more segments first, so it takes the lights longer to travel.
Yep. All right, let's play it safe here, just in case. Really don't want to get a miss here and have to retry.
No, safety strats.
All right, for this one, we're gonna automatically activate Healing Touch here to try and kill Care as fast as possible while Healing Touch is active. Ideally, we can finish these 2 off and deal 2 points of damage to the second wave. Yep. So now we can easily finish these off. And this one is kind of a pain because of the Soma tumors. Like you need to manage lasers very carefully because if those Soma tumors burst, we will have to retry. It's very annoying. Especially with the big Care that needs constant lasering. But yeah, while this goes on, I guess we have time for a few donations.
I have $50 from Covenant Hospital Night Shift. I'm donating on behalf of my wife and her hospital coworkers working right now during the trauma center run. Much love to the GDQ community. Yeah, that deserves some applause.
Agreed.
And I have $200 from Brad57. Thank you all so much for supporting such a great cause. My sister has recently finished up successful treatment for breast cancer that was thankfully caught early thanks to efforts by organizations such as Prevent Cancer Foundation. That absolutely deserves some applause.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Brad and Covenant Hospital Night Shift.
All right, with the final soma here, we move on to the last patient. Thankfully, Onyx is always in the same spot at the beginning, so we don't have to waste time looking for it. It's always in the center of the organ. If only it were always that simple. All right, now we need to make sure that we burn the laser, burn the soma tumors while looking for Onyx. Because if either of those do not get treated in time, their chain is gonna break. And again, you can kind of tell where Onyx is headed by the direction it faces when it dives into the organ. But yeah, now we just need to treat Soma again, and we'll be done with this. I think this is the last unit. Yeah. All right, that's it for multi-patient operations for now, thankfully.
Nice.
So 7-3, we actually rescued Professor Wilkins, and turns out he has a brain implant going on that's changing his personality or whatever, some kind of brainwashing. And yeah, we need to operate on that device. So it's another gimmicky surgery where you're just, I don't know, operating on a machine, not even a brain at that point. The music, though. Oh, it's already finished. I thought it would go on for longer.
This op is pretty short, but if you make like one mistake, it's automatically over. Even on like any percent or easy.
Yep. This one is very unforgiving. Basically, you cannot touch any of those moving white stars.
Yep.
And you need to pull these perfectly vertically.
And avoid.
That was way too fast, man.
Yeah, when it flashes.
All right, well. It's usually not that fast. I don't know what happened. Thankfully, it's a quick retry. I don't understand. I didn't even pinch it properly. All right. Third time's the charm. Man.
Fourth time's the charm.
Like I said, vertical lines and stars are impossible.
Yeah.
How? Okay.
It's really sensitive about how straight it wants you to pull out each of those LEDs.
Yeah. I mean, you guys can tell, like, how shaky the Wiimote is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the screen right now. All right. You know what? Let's just.
It also doesn't help that this op is like towards the very end of the run when your wrists are pretty
Yeah.
sore. And you've been playing for 2 hours. At 4 in the morning.
Easy.
4 in the morning, yeah.
Now, if only I could do that without missing. I actually got all bonuses. What? That's weird. But okay, yeah, we'll go back to this later.
Probably just not enough score.
Time for a quick donation.
Yeah, sure.
We have $1,200.
Wow.
Yeah. From Petrol VB. The comment is in French, so I'm going to do my best. It just says, Des bisous les loulous. Thank you so much, Petrol, for the $1,200 for charity.
Another applause. That deserves it, for sure.
So 7-4 here, we're actually on a different country I don't remember the name of, but this time we're actually on like storming the Rio headquarters of the bad guys.
Yep.
This time for Rio. Yeah. So there's been chemical toxins or whatever
Again.
in the air,
Yeah.
and we need to save this one guy that inhaled 3 different types of toxins. And
It's totally not Tatari, but it sort of is.
yeah. So it's pretty basic. You inject yellow on yellow, red on red, blue on blue.
Yeah. First, you have to use the neutralizer to remove
Oh,
the
yeah.
colors, and then you inject the proper color.
So you actually need to memorize where the colors were. It sounds simple, but I've forgotten more than one time.
Yeah. When you're like on pace for PB, excuse me, you can get really nervous and tend to forget what color it is.
Yeah. Was yellow the middle? Okay. Case in point, I almost forgot where the yellow was.
Yeah.
Alright, now we just need to boost vitals, and this should be good to go. Gotta wait since the syringe was about to break. It's kind of funny, like, why does the syringe break? Doesn't make sense. Alright, 7-5 is the definition of anime malpractice.
Oh yeah.
So, our patient is the main villain's girlfriend, I guess?
Yeah.
And she has a bomb inside her heart. I'm not making this up. So, basically, she has like a pump device to help like blood flow through the heart, and this guy planted a bomb inside it. So we need to open up her heart, remove the pump, destroy the bomb, then put the pump back in. That sounds simple, but we need to do more than that. We need to let her go into cardiac arrest like 7 times so that we have enough score to get the XS. We can finish this operation in 30 seconds, but we're gonna take 2 minutes grinding score. So
Definitely what you want to hear from your doctor before
Yeah.
going under.
The phrase that they use in the story is that he has a shackle around my heart, and you think it's a metaphor at first, but it's not.
Yep. So we use Marcus's healing touch here just to extend our time bonus. We don't particularly need it for anything.
Nice. Avoided the random.
I mean,
Oh, actually, you needed more, right?
yeah,
I keep forgetting about that.
I'm gonna need a few, so there is a very low chance that they will just go away, but I need like 6 or 7 of them. just chilling here, waiting for the cardiac arrests. Oh,
Yep, we're just.
all right, just a few more. Hang in there.
Probably a good time for donations here.
Yeah. Do we have any donations or?
Yes, we do. We have $100 from Dragonista. Thanks to the sharp eyes of my radiologist, I did some cancer prevention of my own today. Being amazed at the skill of all the GDQ runners will be my recovery this weekend. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Dragonista, and congratulations on the good news. And we have $18.51 from Lantra, who says, longtime watcher, first-time donator. It's incredible to see how quick Thurler is using Wiimote. Such a quick and precise surgeon. Keep those chains up, my man. Shout out for the Speedruns Brazil restream and Brazilian speedrun community.
Yo, shout outs to Speedruns Brazil. All right, very important. Boost vitals. You need it after like 7 cardiac arrests. And now we can move on to the final boss of the story.
Right.
Master Vakuski, or however that is pronounced.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone can read Japanese, that's...
Master Bakushiki. Indeed.
So this guy has the last stigma strain called Cardia, which pretty much stays in your heart and, like, I don't know, petrifies it and makes a web out of it. I don't know. So we're gonna have to grind 150 chain here. So there will be a bunch of
Squares.
yes, web squares that you need to extract. You can kind of extract them together in groups, but for the sake of grinding chain, I'm gonna extract them individually to build up chain as fast as possible.
And we have to look out for red squares in particular because when they turn red and Cardia steps on them, it reduces the vitals that you have for this operation permanently.
Yep.
And
It'll reduce the max vitals. I think by like about 10.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Whenever that happens, I just reset, so.
Yeah.
Iron amount.
It's pretty rare too.
All right, here I'm gonna extract a big chunk to make it teleport away. All right, now,
Nice.
like extracting that big chunk makes it so no red tile will spawn on wave 2, which makes it very consistent. Now just don't miss on wave 3 and we should be good. Oh my god. All right,
Close.
that was dangerous. Oh,
That was also dangerous.
that was very dangerous, yes. I always wait just in case it shows up in the exact tile I'm trying to remove.
Right. The game does have a tendency to
Right, this will be
have a
kind of
red
close.
square appear right where Cardia is about to walk to.
So we need 150 chain. I'm gonna have to grind something here. Let's see what happens. But yeah, this is the second phase. It kind of goes around making lacerations and tumors. And we...
Laser management is somewhat important because of how erratic Cardia's movement is up until you use the healing touch.
Yep.
Then it moves so slow that it's just pretty easy to just trace over its path.
Right, very important here. I need to damage it. So it goes berserk now because it took 3 points of damage, and I need to kill it before it does its final hit, which is going to be kind of close. Okay, nice. GG.
GG.
The final boss is kind of anticlimactic because the quick kill is just so efficient.
Yeah, compared to Zavato.
Yeah. And it also sucks because you don't get to hear one of the best songs in the game.
Yeah.
Easy XS. All right, now we have the epilogue, so we can unlock the post game. So the credits in this game are not skippable because we need to, like after the credits, the game will say, hey, do you want to save? And only then we will have a cleared save data that we can move on to the post game. So we're gonna have like 2 minutes of downtime here waiting for the credits to roll by. So
Can I go to the bathroom?
I mean, that's not up to me. That's up to GDQ staff. But yeah,
I've got some donations.
yeah,
for
we
you.
have like 2 to 3 minutes of donation reading.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
I have $50 from Space. Says, thank you for an awesome event. Thank you, Space. I have $300 from Cup of Chai. Says, the plot of this game makes no sense. The motion controls are janky, and yet I still adore this game series. Thanks for the great run and for making these ridiculous surgeries look easy. Thank you, Cup of Chai. $25 from Uncle Dave says, another year, another week of amazing speed runs. Thank you to all runners, hosts, tech crew, and everyone else who helps to put on this event.
I mean, you can keep going. There's like,
Yeah, I'm just looking through some. I see $200 from Lead Crow. Simply says, hoping to help someone. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Lead Crow. Thank you for that generosity and giving spirit. Yeah.
oh yeah.
I have $25 from Callahan. Says, I'm really glad to be able to donate to this event again. My grandmother recently beat cancer, and I hope others can catch cancer as early as her and beat it so easily. Donation goes to Runner's Choice, and I'll donate another 25 if it's Goose Game any percent run.
Oh boy.
I have $100 from Jerome the Bearded. AGDQ was one of the first things my fiance and I bonded together over. Every year we look forward to watching amazing people speedrun our favorite games. Thank you, AGDQ, and here's to another 10 years. I have $100 from Ilvez. Says, staying up too late for a great game and a great run. $100 from Ragnarok Trace. Says, so many lovely prizes and a wonderful cause. Could I possibly resist? No. The answer is no. Thanks to you, tech, runners, and chat all alike for all that you do to support this cause. Praise the sun and don't trust the gods.
All right, here's the most important tech. Remember to save the game because the default option is no for some reason. Like you just went through 2 minutes of credits. Of course you want to save. All right, now we just load the save back. Hopefully fast. No, that's not new game. We're not starting a new run. All right, so we now have Score Attack 4 and the X operations, which are extreme difficulty, which is like a level above hard. And there will be 6 extreme operations, 1 for each strand of Stigma. But first we're gonna do the Score Attack, which is kind of fun.
And we
Like-
see our old friends,
Yeah,
Eric Styles and Angie.
the good old friends.
Angie just looks creepy in this game, though.
Yeah.
So this operation is a simulation with featuring guilt from the first game.
Yeah, so first up we have Kiriaki, the little bat things that crawl on people's organs. and make lacerations. It's very similar to Care, except you need to use the ultrasound to find them. So to those that have played Second Opinion, this will be very familiar. I gotta make sure that I get cools here, because remember, on score attack, if you get a good, your chain drops. And for this operation particularly, I really need my chain to be as high as possible. And now we can move on to patient 2 with our best friend, Diphthera, also known as RNG Devil.
RNG Nightmare.
So the way Diphthera works is, it moves around randomly. You need the red cell and the blue cell to merge so you can drain them. And when you do that 3 times, you can excise them. But yeah.
And so
As you
if they
can see here. Oh, that's kind of good. Yo, can we get time on Iris's bathroom percent?
Sorry about that.
It's alright.
he made it a good time.
Shout out to the surgeons who can do this for like hours on end.
Alright, so when 2 pairs show up, you need to pray that the blue ones only merge with the red ones. Like if 2 of the same color bump into each other, they'll make a tumor and waste time. Just like that. And they can also bump into each other while only 1 pair is merged. You can lose a bunch of time like that. So yeah, Diphthera is nasty.
Yeah. They're nice for building up chain, but really nasty when you're just trying to get the operation done.
Yep.
Many a run in the first game.
Oh yeah.
Yo, can I please, like, finish the operation? Thanks.
Nice.
All right, that was still enough time, which is good.
It does seem like they've scaled back the damage of them on this game.
Yeah.
Diphthera can be really nasty.
However, the game is not satisfied. Because it now
What could
puts
possibly be worse than Diphthera?
Diphthera and Soma.
Oh man.
So yeah, again, I would just wait for this first pair to merge.
Our cotton candy friend is back.
The talk strats.
Yeah. And now we can just wait. Very important. Oh, what?
Oh, wow.
The OK was from Soma, not Diphthera.
Wow.
Very important to drain, laser Soma's tumors there. You really don't want to break your chain here.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm playing it safe. I'm not taking that out.
Right. Yeah, you really want to focus on Diphthera first and then take out Soma, because doing them at the same time is, I'm going to say for a single player, it's nigh impossible. For co-op, it's pretty okay, but
Yeah.
Alright, now we just deal with Soma here. Slowly but surely. One more.
And you'd think they'd be over, but not yet.
All right, the last operation is Care plus Kiriaki with a little surprise Savato too. Thankfully, just the baby ones.
Ugh. Imagine having to doing all three.
If it was a full one, oof.
Yeah.
That would be such an Atlas thing to do.
All right. So the first few waves are kind of simple. Just deal with the one care and stuff as it shows up. Again, I gotta be very careful with suturing. I don't want to break my chain.
Be careful. Pardon the pun.
Yes, you'll want to be careful.
Oh no. Oh no.
Have you been waiting 2.5 hours to say that?
I regretted it instantly as I said it.
All right, after the third hit here, Savato's gonna show up, so I'm gonna use Healing Touch to make sure that I don't take too much damage and Savato cannot replicate itself. All right, that's fine. I got 285 chain.
That's
That
good.
should be enough.
But if you didn't have enough chain here, you would want to wait for Kara to attack more before
Yeah,
finishing the
like-
operation.
You can grind chain for a while, which I'm gonna do here just for safety.
Yeah.
It's really weird seeing seeing Marcus's healing touch for both Cher and Kiriaki, because typically you don't want to use it for these two.
Hey, buddy, should we make lacerations? Thanks. We're trying to go fast here. All right, one more just in case.
I mean, well, the patient's like, what are you doing?
Doctor, please finish the procedure. No, I need points. All right. So the cutoff here is 36,000 points. You should have more than enough, but always nice to play it safe. Always nice to finish on a good. All right, 2,000 over.
Yeah.
All right, now we can move on to the 6 hardest operations of the run. We cannot use Healing Touch at all for the following 5 operations. We can use it on Cardia, otherwise it would be impossible. But yeah, we can only rely on our skills for these. So the strat for Care is to, again, let tumors form, because tumors are your best source of chain, and chain is what's going to give you the most points here. You're going to take a lot of damage from these cuts, so you will want to be super quick on healing.
Yeah. Cuts will deal more damage on extreme than even
Yeah.
hard.
Everything deals more damage on extreme. So. You gotta make sure that you're prepared for that. Also, I gotta make sure that I'm killing the one that makes lacerations, not tumors. All right, that is the one that makes tumors. So I'm gonna leave it at 1 HP and kill the other. So now 2 others will spawn, and I need to track the one that makes tumors so I don't accidentally kill it. All right, I want to kill this guy that made a single laceration, because the other one makes a deep cut that also gives a lot of chain, which is nice.
Oh, there it is.
All right, I kind of forgot which one it is, but at this point,
That was the laceration.
yeah.
That's the tumor.
At this point, it doesn't make much of a difference. All right, with 4 tumors, I can kill this guy. Now boost vitals. And get ready for the big tortilla, or however that's pronounced.
The big tortilla.
Big Dorito chip.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna ignore the small ones because the big one just deals a lot of damage when it attacks. So we're gonna focus on him. Right, now focus on one of them. And this should be fine. Can you please move into the... All right, thanks. Care has a tendency to sometimes like hang out off, like outside the screen boundary. You just have to wait for it to come back. Kind of annoying. All right, boost vitals for safety. This should be it. There it is.
Nice.
All right, X2 is Soma, and unlike every Soma so far, this one is actually difficult because it spawns 5 blue things instead of 3 when the core explodes, and they actually deal a lot of damage here. So we're gonna have to prioritize those instead of damaging the core, just in case just because we don't want to break our chain, right? So do that, and hopefully if we have enough time, yeah. So you can one cycle the damage there. If you were just a little bit slower, the core would have faded away and you would have had to like drain it again and it would be slow. So drain these 5 and damage the core, hopefully in one cycle. Yeah, so I was a few frames off there. It's not a big deal if you miss it. Like you don't miss XS or anything. It just wastes time.
You also have to be really precise with the draining. If you're like off by a little bit for a few seconds, that'll delay your draining, and then Soma will appear before you're finished, and that can ruin your tempo.
Right,
Nice draining.
That was nice.
Yeah.
All right, this is definitely not gonna be it. How? I just don't understand this game sometimes.
Nice overlap.
Yeah.
That was a really good Soma.
Yep. Only missed one cycle. That was pretty good.
Nice.
All right. Here comes ops. So we need to grind 250 chain.
Oh.
So that is a lot. However, remember that we cannot use the healing touch here. So when the core splits, we'll actually need to very carefully manage our laser so that we don't run out and we protect both cores from the whatever these are, nutrients, I guess. So there's no reason to rush here because it's gonna take a while to get 250 chain anyway. So just carefully manage your laser.
Should we do donations?
Yeah, donations will be good.
Sure. I have $20.20 from Sensual Tomato. Says, hey AGDQ and Twitch chat, if you ever wonder where your donations go, I'm a master's student working in one of the research labs that received funding from the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Here, we're putting your money to use by developing machine learning models to detect cancer using artificial intelligence. I felt it was appropriate to donate during one of my favorite runs. Awesome run, Thurler, and keep up the great work, everyone. Yeah, thanks, Sensual Tomato, and thanks for all the work you're doing with your master's degree and the Prevent Cancer Foundation. I have $100 from Alan193. Thanks to GDQ for hosting such an amazing event that helps make a boring work week that much more tolerable. Thanks to all the runners, hosts, and everyone who has donated so far. Thank you, Alan. And I have another $100 from Yo Rolimore. Says, love the event like every year. Don't forget to donate for the incentives to make this AGDQ even longer and more fun. Hugs for all. Less than 3. And that's a great reminder that we have some fantastic incentives still open. So go check it out at our website and donate towards the one that speaks to you. I have $50 from Luca27. I love all of you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Luca. We love you too.
So I kind of lost count of how much damage I've dealt to the core. Does anyone know?
I do not know, unfortunately.
Yo,
You're pretty
Twitch-
close. I think you've done at least 3, maybe.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to kill it too early.
Yeah. It's kind of difficult because you're swapping back and forth between
Yeah.
the other one and that.
I'm
and this
pretty
one.
sure I'm at 2, but I really don't want to risk it.
Probably better not to risk it, for sure.
Okay, that was 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Let's boost vitals. Alright, I have 10 seconds. I think. Maybe the time limit is 1 minute. Alright, should be good.
Yep.
Alright. That is way, way harder than it looked.
Oh, yeah.
Like, having to manage your laser for that long is
Yeah.
really hard.
It's mentally stressful.
Super multi.
Especially like after playing for, again, 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours, yeah. So, yeah, Onyx. Remember how I said it's pretty hard to find it the first time? Well, for Extreme, you have very little time to do so.
Right? No, bottom left. Oh, there.
Yes, so, case in point. Even if you do find it, you need to extract it and inject the thing in time. So if you don't find it fast enough, it's rip, reset. The hardest part here is just finding it for the first time.
Yep.
Always in the top right corner.
Right corner.
All right, the rest should be a breeze. As long as I don't randomly miss.
And once again, always looking for those 4 dots. That signifies the real Onyx.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. All right.
Oh, yeah, he's there.
I didn't notice like which direction it went in, so
No.
I got kind of lucky that I could spot it quickly. All right, we good. Safety vitals.
Yeah.
All right, X5 is
Brachion.
Brachion. And it actually has 5 waves instead of 4. And there is no chain requirement here, so you are allowed to let the toxins reach the ends. So long as no thorns regenerate, it should be good. Safety pinches, just in case.
Preloading and the injection and having the cursor positioned there is a really, like, nice kind of like quick time save with Brachion.
Like they always spawn at the same place, so
Yeah.
If you know where that'll be, it's super fast. All right, one more. All right, that should be it. Let's boost vitals, and we can move on to the final operation. So the true final boss, Cardia, it's exactly like the final boss, except it has one more HP for like the second phase. So it's gonna take 5 hits instead of 4. And the patterns here get a little bit more dense. So there's a lot more to extract, but the chain requirement is still 150, so thankfully we don't have to grind as much. Hello? No one saw that.
Saw what?
Yes, exactly.
I didn't say anything.
Always prioritize the red one. You don't want Cardia running into that.
By the way, when is time?
Time will be after this operation.
Okay.
Like when the XS chime.
Oh, for this
sounds. Yeah.
Okay.
Like back in the main menu.
Oh wow, I didn't realize the gel also evaporates much faster on extreme as well.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Its patterns are also pretty mean.
They are. Yes.
That's fair.
Right. I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, he went right
Waited
for
to-
it. Mm-hmm.
All right. Now just do the thing. My vitals are kind of low. I don't like that.
Nice forceps usage.
Yeah.
It was pretty clutch.
All right. Here we go. Please be enough.
Yeah, if he hadn't caught that, it would have exploded and done extreme damage.
All right. That should be. There it is. Didn't even let it finish the attack. GG.
GG.
All right, so time is coming up. And that's it. Time. Yeah. So, there are like 3 operations. They would take like 15 minutes total to redo. So, I don't know. I mean, my wrists are in pain, yes. I guess I can try. So, I'll go through each one of them once, and as soon as I fail, I'll just bail out. Okay. So, the redemption arc starts now.
Yo, this is it. You got this.
All right. In before I just miss here.
I know. I didn't want to say it. I was totally thinking it though.
Nice.
Hello. All right. No, that doesn't count. I forgot to drain the blood.
That was a practice
all right.
I love this off so much.
Man, I'm getting bodied by the easy.
I know it's so annoying.
This makes me
I only laugh because I have equally as much trouble with this op. It's killed so many of my runs.
Same, actually. Nice.
Was that so hard?
I know.
Yeah.
Those switches are pretty good too.
All right. It only took me like, what, 9 tries?
Yeah, really.
Maybe.
All right.
All right. One down.
That's one down.
Just
So what else we
more.
got? A3.
A3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hell
Or
no.
attack.
All right. Let's go. All right.
Nice.
All right. That's one down. 3 to go. I missed on the last patient, didn't I? With the glass shards.
Yeah.
Man. I never missed it.
But understandably, 'cause the glass rods are so hard to remove.
All right, shoot down. This one is. Oh no! All right. I should have.
Should have boosted.
Vitals. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine though. Can do it now. It's just gonna take longer.
Yeah. I didn't know you could use the scalpel under the blood pool like that.
You can't do it in second opinion. But
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh. Should go down and inject the last one. Yeah, for sure.
That's not right.
You got it. The turning is so hard, as always.
All right, last patient.
Quiet time here.
All right, we made it alive.
Yes.
And the bandage.
Don't. Why would you say that? All right, safety vitals. Perfect
Nice.
number.
He scores.
This is guaranteed. All right, good, good, good.
Nice.
All right, what else we got? What else? 6-5 only, right? 6-5 and 7-3. I'll do 7-3 first because it's easy. Easy.
Easy.
Easy.
I mean, it's a nice rest for the wrist.
It's true.
Or 6-5.
It's also short.
It is.
I saw you doing this earlier in
Yeah.
practice, and you did it like it was nothing. So
Yeah.
it is easy. You got this.
Oh.
Wow.
All right, one more try. Activate task mode. How? All right, one more try before I actually give up. Like, I don't want to push the schedule.
When I do this, I have to actually hold my hand against the Wiimote to keep it stable enough to pull those out. So super tough. But quiet time.
All right. Well, that's gonna be it for me, guys. I don't want to push the schedule too far behind. Like 7-3 is easy.
Still an incredible run. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like with how incredibly precise this run is, I'm just glad I finished like 7-6, X6.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I'll just quickly shout out the Trauma Center community, who's amazing. Everyone that helped me be here today. So Trojan, please, double. Who else is actively running this game?
Also SDSK.
SDSK, the Japanese god.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it for me. So thanks for having me. Thanks for GDQ for having me here, and I'll be signing out.
Thank you so much, Thurler, for that awesome run of Trauma Center New Blood. Thank you for everyone who donated during the run. My name is GhostBird. That's it for me. I'm going to hand the mic off to Soraya, and she'll take over for me after this Twitch ad. Stick around.
Good morning and welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2020, a week-long speedrunning marathon which benefits the Prevent Cancer Foundation. The Prevent Cancer Foundation, founded in 1985, is a US-based nonprofit organization. Their mission is to save lives across all populations through cancer prevention and early detection by focusing their work through research, education, outreach, and advocacy. Their vision is to stop cancer before it starts. You can find out more information about PCF at preventcancer.org. My name is Soraya, and I'm so excited to be your host for this run. While we're getting set up, let's go through some of your donations. We have $100 from Solera Vistora. Let's engage in some jolly cooperation and free these lands of the cancer that ails it. We have $50 from Platimus. So I feel like I need to donate for the Katana Zero hard mode. Well, it looks like we are about $2,500 out of $10,000 toward meeting that incentive. So if you would like to see that, please get those donations in. We have $15 from Sigranas. Greetings from Norway. As an engineer, I started working with cancer research this summer, and seeing the drive and positivity in this event, I'm convinced that we'll be able to kick cancer in the butt and honk it away for good. We have $30 from Hurudin. As someone whose family has suffered from cancer, it means so much to see gamers working together to make a positive impact. We have a $250 donation from Quinn. Thanks to everyone at AGDQ for the background noise and entertainment. It's the least I can do due to losing a few friends to cancer and those who have survived. Keep up the great titles and speedrunning. We have $10 from Whimsalicious Tragicomedy. I'm donating from work. Please don't tell my boss. Your secret's safe with us. We have $100 from Sabia. Longtime watcher, thank you for all the runners and all the men and women behind the scenes making this awesome event possible.